Late Night Cappy again. AssoConsulting.com, by the way. If you have questions, Cappy has answers in my NPR voice. Maybe that's all those NPR people do is they record late at night. They don't want to wake people up. That's why they got that. Today, global warming again and why it's evil white male capitalists' fault. Here we have Jessica Heinrich Johnson, hyphenated name person as usual. From our Dallas office. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Bob. Everything we've been saying for the past 20 years, we're going to say and repeat now again with no real new thought or reflection. When will you people listen to us? Hi, Mr. Clary. I've been watching your content for years now, and I'm a fan of yours. Anyway, I'm a 24-year-old male, and I have low confidence when it comes to dating, as I've never been in a relationship before. I've only been with escorts, and I can't have any form of confidence in myself when it comes to that area of my life. Everything that I put my mind into, I had confidence in myself that I can do it, but this is the only part of my life where I don't have the same feeling. Well, let me ask you this. Aside from women, and let's take friends on any kind of socializing, romantic or friendship, everything else is more or less in your control. Admittedly, luck and career, there's that. But like when you go to school, if you work hard, you get good grades. If you get good grades and you work hard, you probably find a good job, get a good degree. You don't make stupid mistakes. You don't borrow more than you can afford. Your finances are together. And there's ups and downs and good and bad luck that comes with it. But largely, you can more or less control the outcome to varying degrees of the main things that are important in life, except women dating and your social life. Now, with your social life, guys, I think we just naturally gravitate together because we had to in the olden days to like survive. Like, hey, I mean, I don't like Frank's feet, but Frank throws a mean spear at the woolly mammoth. We need Frank on the team. And then you tolerate Frank, even though you didn't like his feet. Women kind of do the same thing and form teams and tribes or whatever, herds. But when your goal is, I would like to stick my penis inside your vagina, it's a harder sell. And you are trying to sell another human being that has completely different aims, goals, mind, intelligence, incentives, preferences. Maybe she would like your penis inside her vagina, but you don't know that. Your previous video, you got to sell it to her. Dick, who was that? That wouldn't be Seinfeld. Seinfeld was too clean. Point is, you're not dealing with a test. A test, you get the score right, the answers right, you get a good score. You learn to ride a motorcycle. If you don't fuck it up, you'll ride the motorcycle. I mean, practically any skill, hobby, activity, education, career, you put enough effort into it, you will master it. But that's because those are objects. Those are finite things. Women are humans, and they have their own intelligence and sentience and ideas and thoughts, and it may not be aligned with yours. So when you say I have confidence in myself that I can do it, but this is the only part of my life where I don't have the same feeling. Well, I don't think you should, because you're not like training a dog. You're not running a marathon. You're trying to get another human being to not just agree with you on some minor things, but fall in love, have sex, become intimate, which is, somewhat. I don't know anything more personal to a woman or a man than getting romantically and sexually involved with another person. So, and so not only is it a hard sell because it's another person, but that's a hell of a product you're trying to sell there. You're kind of like, well, maybe you don't want this, but then the brilliant part, but this is, I had confidence I can do it, but this is the only part of my life where I don't have the same feeling. If it weren't for escorts, I would have still been a virgin. Well, you kind of solved that point. Like, well, here you go. How much money do you want? Again, I'm not against that. So how do you make this feeling of not being confident go away? Just for background about me, I make a medium salary, work remote, you're not fat, 5'7", weigh 170 pounds. So I had him send me some pictures. I thought, oh, he's a little overweight. And some normal picture. Also, how many do you live in the United States or some other Western place? Additionally, how many women have you asked out in the past year? Now, he's not lying around. He's not, he lives in the United States in an area that is incredibly leftist. Another big environmental problem. And then he has a good question. What do you mean by ask women out in the past to be my girlfriend or just a date? I said just a date, even coffee. I guess a better question would be how many women did you approach either in person or online to ask out? I've asked 6 people this year online and offline. So he's not lying around. He's not like virgin towing it. He's actually going out there. So he sent over the pictures. Where did the pictures go? He's in shape. He's 5'7", but this guy's, you can see the muscle and the definition. He's clean cut. He's very well groomed. He's got a nice beard and maybe more goatee and a very nicely trimmed. I thought I was going to be looking at some. I thought this was going to be an easy one where I could hit him like, "Oh, you're ugly. That's why." Hey, you look stupid, and I can't. This is a good looking dude. Payment. Okay, so he's a good looking dude, but let's go over the things outside of his control that still have an effect on this, and then we'll talk about confidence. First, you're short. I'm sorry, dude. And I'm not saying that as a cop out. I'm a short guy. I'm only an inch and a half taller than you. And yeah, you're just gonna have to work harder than the average guy. You're just gonna have to bust your ass off. My trick was ballroom dancing. I'm reading a book, The Fucc Files, FUCC Files by Ryan Stone. His was what's it called? I don't want to say situational alpha, but he ran numbers. He would approach a lot. He was a good looking guy, but he'd choose the environment. He'd go to particular bars. He was in the Navy too, so that helped as well. Guys in uniform. You're going to have to go out and do a lot of pounding pavement, find out where it is. Now, so that's your uphill battle when you're 5'7". You are in great shape, though, by the way. So you don't have to worry about grooming or this or that or anything like. But you are 5'7". That's it. But you're gonna have to try hard. It's like the Expendables with Jet Li, where he argues with Sly Stallone. He says, "You should pay me more." Why should I pay you more? Because I'm shorter. Explain this to me. Why I gotta pay you more? He's like, "Because I'm shorter and I have to run longer." He's like, "Okay, wait a minute. So you're saying because you're shorter, you have to take more steps." And you have to punch higher and kick higher. He's like, yes. He just shakes his head. And it's true. That's what short guys do, because Jet Li was short. There's an argument for it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you're going to get paid more, but he has to punch higher. He has to kick stronger. He has to run longer. So that's what's facing you. Now, you are in a Marxist leftist shithole. And that's another bad thing. Another bad thing is you're in an environment. How old are you? Yeah, you're 24. Holy shit. You're in the most anti-male generation to live through the United States just yet. Now, that might change. Maybe, I don't know, Gen Z women might come around and, people with penises aren't our sworn enemy, and we shouldn't crush them, and we shouldn't hate on them. We'll find. But as the training has gone now, and based on the survey data, most of those gals are not interested in dating or marriage or anything like that. Might be interested in sex. Some of them certainly are, but not with a 5'7" guy. And also based on, I'm always trying to check, like, of course, if it comes from the Daily Mail, I'm not going to believe it. That's sensationalism. But when you start looking at polling data from the Pew Research Center, I don't go to slate.com. I mean, I pulled data and you look at where women are prior. Man, you guys are not at all. I mean, you're not at the top of the list. And at 24, I could and you're dating younger. So yeah, gals 20, 21, of course they're going to be focused on college. But women your age are not looking. And let's talk about another disadvantage. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here. Gals are not looking at a 24-year-old guy. We would even consider you a boy. These gals want older guys who make more money. And you are just maybe getting into your own. And with this salary, you're not making enough. I'll tell you right, for that town, that's not enough. So if they even ask about it, you lie. Just lie. um, but yeah, all these variables and factors put you at a huge disadvantage. A huge disadvantage. Um, so it could be you've asked out girls in the past, it hasn't worked out. We have asked girls out in the past, you just haven't closed the deal. I'm gonna say a lot of that is just you're short, man. It's short. But you're also uh, in a horrible environment, horrible age, horrible generation to be in. And if it even gets to that point, you don't make enough money. I'm being very generalizing, of course. Not all women are like that. So, for whatever it's worth, point is, I'm trying to, whatever your failures were in the past, it largely isn't you. Now, it is you because you're 5'7", but you don't control that. You live in a very high expensive area. You don't make that much money. I'm going to assume you didn't come from wealth. You're young. You don't control when you were born. All these things are working against you. They're not going to get better as you get older. Not much. Get better when you get older. Point is, whatever failures you may have had in the past, you can largely chalk it up to things outside of your control. Right? I mean, and to give you, and when I was younger, dude, the only reason I went out with over 300 girls is because I asked out thousands, thousands. It was a part-time job. I look back at it now and I mean, boy, that was a lot of salesmanship I was doing. But it was like, if there was a cute girl, like, because I did have an economic mind, I had to go work, I had to go to school. But if I was going to get a date, I had to like pack it in. And so I was like, hey, not like they were standing right next to each other, like, hey, you just asked me out. I'm like, whoa, that might have actually worked. Um, but it was a numbers game, a sales game. Now, as I got better and older and more refined, especially when I learned how to dance and started wearing a suit and all that other stuff. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about 3 in 10 would end up going on a date. But for a while, oh yeah, 1 in 10, 1 in 20 probably. I mean, based on the number of gals that, would say no or just not give you a number. I mean, if you include those. So I don't think you've failed. I think you just probably haven't tried enough. Probably, you might also be shy, which is another word for being polite. I don't want to bother those girls, but if you want to be successful with women, you want to be successful with anything, you have to fail. And it's like, I remember getting to the point where a girl would turn me down. I didn't care. It was just the next girl. And they lost a little bit of like humanity. Well, they lost a little bit of humanity because I didn't view them as humans anymore. It's just, oh, this is the next girl. Okay, well, I'll get the next one. I lost a little bit of humanity because it was just like, oh no, like it didn't affect me anymore. It wasn't like hurting my feelings anymore. It hurt, of course, it hurt a lot starting from middle school, on. Certainly up until probably junior, senior year. I would say, but senior year, there was a great dance hall out where I used to live. And just a ton of gals would come there. And some would say yes, some would say no. And soon you realized it didn't matter. It was a game. There was an instance of solipsism where I was really just going for numbers. I ended up hurting a couple girls actually. One gal wanted to like get committed. Like we met at the dance thing, and then I took her out on a date. We're making out in the car, and oh yeah, maybe I'll see you later. And then we see at the dance again. I'm dancing with a bunch of other gals. She's like, "Are you gonna dance with me?" I'm like, "Oh no, I gotta dance with these other girls because I gotta get my numbers up." Oh, she didn't like me after that. I can't remember her name. She had nice tits though. God, she had good tits. Anyway, distracting. Point is, you got to get to that point where you don't care, where you're used to getting shot down. Is there even enough women that are that attractive in that town for you to ask out to get to 100 in 6 months? I mean, a lot of people, oh, you didn't ask. Really think about it. Let's say you ask out 2 or 3 girls a day. That's not a lot. Maybe you go out to a nightclub, you ask out 10. All right. Amortize that, 50 weeks, 500 people. It's not, it becomes part of your day. It's like taking your vitamins. Did you ask a girl out? Did you take your vitamins? I did. Okay, good for you. It's not 1994 anymore. So I don't know if there's a lot of gals that you want to ask out even. The point is, though, if you see a cute girl, you've asked 6 girls out before, so you know how to do it this year alone. You're just going to have to ask out more. And forget the idea of confidence. Just build up resilience to rejection. Build up resilience. Build up a callus to rejection where you don't care. As you get older, especially, you're making money, let's say you're supporting yourself, take inventory of who you are. You're in great shape. You're very kept. You probably don't rely on anyone. You're an independent man. If a girl shoots you down, who's got the problem? And that I didn't really get going until, gosh, I was about 23, 24. I'm like, wait a fucking second. I'm a great guy. I got a fucking piece of property. I have no debt. I work hard at this and that and this. And you're turning me on. I'll tell you a story that I've told people before again. Probably at my peak. And this is where I kind of got out of dance scene. At my peak, 32, 33 or something, I was making good money as a banker, senior credit analyst. I was teaching ballroom dance at night, 3 hours a night. I was making around 100,000. This is going back to the aughts. So that was some serious money back then. I would go into work in a suit. I go teach in my suit. I come back. I went to this place called the Times Cafe, which is no more because all the communists in BLM, they burned this place down, but it wasn't this place that got bought. And it wasn't burnt down anyway, but no one goes to Minneapolis anymore because why get shot? So I went to this great jazz club. There's a great jazz band. I know how to dance. I got my suit on. I look like $1 million. I asked one gal, like, hey, you want to dance? She said no. And I asked, no, you want to dance? No. And I got like shot down about 5 times in a row. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, it doesn't get any better than this. Well, the only thing you could criticize me, as far as those girls knew, because they didn't know my personality. If they did, they made the right choice turning me down. But they didn't know that. But on a bit more serious note, the only thing that was I was short. I wasn't tall enough. Otherwise, perfectly presentable. I knew how to dance. Clean-cut guy, good-looking guy. Ended up getting shot at, and after the 5th one, I said, I'm going to ask every gal who doesn't look obviously spoken for to dance. Asked 31 women to dance that night. Not one said yes. Most normal guys would have just been crushed. Me, I was like, there's something fucking wrong with these people. Not in the fact that they wouldn't say yes to a dance with me, but here's like this dance floor. There's a dance band. It's a jazz club. People dance. I'm in a suit. Not 1 in 31? What the heck? What's going on? And okay, maybe my fly was open. I don't think it was, but I knew enough about myself and I knew the type of quality guy I was that if someone shot me down, I'm like, she really doesn't know. Like the neck. Here's what boils down. It was almost laughable. Like, I bet you someday in the future, this girl's going to say, where have all the good men gone? It's like, you had a guy making 6 figures at 32, 33, was a ballroom fucking dance instructor, worked at a bank, had his own fucking rental property. What? Okay. Really? Was it that he was 5'9"? You were going to get a guy asked you to dance, wasn't asking you on a date. You want to dance. And they shot you down. And so you got to have the confidence. One way to develop it, the larger point, roundabout way of getting there, is that you take inventory of yourself and you say, hey, for a 24-year-old dude, I make pretty good money and I kind of support myself. Okay, maybe I'm not the lead NBA guy making 20 million or whatever, but I'm a pretty good guy. And as long as you have confidence in yourself that you've done good, you're not a criminal, you're clean cut, you go to the gym, obviously, you become the best version of you can possibly become. There is nothing then you can do beyond that. And if the girl turns you down, that's her fault. I mean, it really is. It really is. So, you're kind of like, well, I'm sorry, this is the best dish my restaurant can give you. If she says no, okay, fine. And then as you will find out as you get older. You can just watch Facebook or any just look at Gen X women. Why can't I find all my lonely cats and so you can watch some of my other videos like where you have to dial in your expectations. Younger guys, based on the data and the polling I've seen, you have to dial in your expectations that you are going to get shut down because gals' expectations are way higher than they used to be 20 years ago. Again, I don't know because I'm not God, but I'm gonna bet it's that 5'7" thing. But as long as you're the best 5'7" guy you can be, you should have the confidence to go ask a girl out so that if she shoots you down, which I guarantee you will happen the majority of the time, you're like, okay, you're lost. You don't say that, but you know that. I tell guys like, look, you can't be this basement dwelling virgin troll. You have to be. Every guy has to become Cary Grant. I even think I wrote about that, like why every man must become Cary Grant. Because if you make sure you have no, not every guy's got a flaw, but you make sure you're the best approximation of your version of Cary Grant you can be. Girl shoots you down. I don't know what to tell you. Terribly sorry. Okay, we'll go away. Good luck finding someone. I hope you find him in your dreams. Brad Pitt will not ask you out. So focusing on yourself, taking inventory of yourself, doing the best you can. That's one way to build confidence. Getting used to rejection. Psychologically, just that's probably the hardest part. To it becomes numb is another thing. The third thing, it requires you date women, but you ask Chad. Have you seen any episodes with Chad or the guys? Do you notice how guys in their 30s and 40s, guys who have like 10 years on you, they're not as excited about girls anymore? It's because they've dated them. Women, I remember, I was the same thing, dude. I was the same thing when I was a young guy. It was when I was 27. Now, I was still asking girls out, but I'd still get a little nervous, like, oh man, I really like this girl. No, she was hot. That's all she was. And what I didn't realize I was doing this entire time is just because a girl was hotter, I immediately thought, like, wow, okay, she's better than me. Not in a moral sense, but like in a sexual marketing sense, which maybe wasn't incorrect. But then these girls would open up their mouths. And in one particular case, this gal got mean on me. And I don't have to go through it. I wasn't going to ask her out yet, but I had to wait until a certain time. Basically, it was a student of mine because it was against the rules to ask your students out. You had to wait till they left school. Not high school. This is college and teaching dance classes and finance seminars. It's happened several times. They were all adults. Just had to follow these stupid rules. And then I'm like, she like turned on me. I was like, wait a minute. And I realized that they were all just trash. All this trailer trash. I don't need to go into where this was, but a preponderance. It was a trailer trash mart. It was like the Walmart of trailer trash. And I'm like, oh, she's a mean, vile person. She's like this disgusting. And then after you date enough girls, especially you need to date a really hot, just date one really hot chick that has bipolar disorder, which they don't really have. They're just mean, bitchy women who fake having a mental disorder so they can treat you like shit. And you'll start to lose your appetite. Or at minimum, you'll start to not knock them off their pedestal, but you'll stop viewing them more than what they actually are. They're just humans who happen to have a vagina. And like guys, there's not a lot of great ones. They're not very impressive. It's just you want to fuck them. That's it. And so you get worried. You got to make the approach. How do I do? And then you go on the date. A lot of you don't even realize how dumb and boring they are. Because they just have to sit there and have guys come up and ask them out. And we had this part of a conversation where most guys have to entertain and yet, and now for my next trick, like Krusty the fucking Clown. And if you want to experiment, here's an experiment you do. Go on a date. You get a date. Talk to her like she's one of the guys. And if she doesn't talk back or gives you a one-word response, say nothing. Just like turn your phone and do your phone. If they can keep up the conversation. And you're going to find out most gals don't, not because they're withholding or trying to purposely be difficult or silent. They're just used to guys doing everything. It's like, oh my god, let me in. Oh my god, it's a girl, a girl. And so that's another thing in addition to what? Being confident, making sure you're the best version you can possible, asking out girls and getting shot down to the point it becomes a callous and you don't care. It's a numbers game. But then actually get to know some girls. I mean, go to a night party, go to a house party. I don't know, okay, or just go on. Okay, you can't go to house parties. Go on a girl's social media. Like you find a girl that you think is really cute and you get her Facebook thing or whatever. Just read through her comments. Are they intelligent? Are they unique? Are they smart? Or is it your standard mass produced? Oh my God, I can't believe Trump. I so recycle. I'm going to go get my master's degree in social work. Boom. Again, let me introduce you. Here he is. My friend Chappie. Chappie has more intellectual thought and creativity and innovation than your average liberal arts major, male or female. But most of the girls you're going to be chasing after are not more intelligent. I shouldn't say more intelligent, are not more interesting than this. Its ingredients are, I don't know, wax and some kind of, eucalyptus. Your average girl that you're dating at your age, her ingredients include liberal politics, liberal arts degree, debt, regurgitating generally leftist talking points. And the reason I keep focusing on the politics is not because I'm anti-Democrat or anti-leftist, which I am, but that's all they have. Oh, maybe they're dog rescue. I forgot about that. Oh, and they like to travel. And then when you start seeing them for a piece of chapstick, the ones that you gotta maybe get a little nervous and you're quaking in your boots about is the gal's a libertarian and she's a computer programmer or majoring in pre-med. And you're like, whoa, okay, Cappy, don't screw this one up. Don't. You screwed it up, you fuck. But the vast majority. So I'm trying to find out where you can get exposed to women without having to go on a date. Although go on a date and don't view it as a date. Just go and have some fun. But study women. Take your dick off. Stop thinking with the little one down there and look at women and see what they say from an intellectual standpoint and say, is this something I want to sit and listen to for 3 hours? Is this somebody who's unique or interesting? Does she have interesting hobbies? Like one of the cooler guys. I hate it. If it gets back to her, she's gonna like, one of the cooler gals I know, daughter of a cop, loves her guns, loves her hiking, works a cool job. She's just a really cool gal. That gal stands out from the rest of the billions of grains of sand that is your common leftist. I voted Hillary. Oh, good for you. I mean, really, it's not that you got to vote Republican, but could you vote Libertarian? Vote for, or just not vote? Can you say something different that I haven't heard a million times before? So if you go on Facebook before you ask a girl out online, which I guess is predominantly how it's done now, look at their politics, look at their hobbies, look at their degrees, look at their professions. Oh wow, you like sushi? Oh my god! See, the trick is if you're going to do it this way, you got to aim backwards. But that's the better way. Not that I've thought about it. It's pretty dark. Just saying. Hitler did it this way, but all right, that's enough. But then otherwise, it looks like you're hitting the gym regularly. Let's take a look. Not that I'm stalking you here. Yeah, it looks like you got a nice studio apartment. You're a minimalist. You probably got your finances together. Yeah, man. I mean, if you want to build up confidence, it's no different than building up muscles, I guess. You're gonna have to go out, just like you hit the gym and lift weights, you're gonna have to go out and ask out a bunch of girls. Your self-improvement, I think you've already done. Maybe if you're looking to, I don't know if you have an education, like college-wise, if you want to get something like it, maybe study at night part-time. What else can you do? Jiu-jitsu, martial arts, something, build up your confidence a little bit. But the best way, man, is you got to go up and ask those girls out, even if it's a girl that, well, don't ask a girl you don't want to ask out because then she might say yes, and then you got to take her out. But ask girls out, get used to getting shot down, become the best guy you can be. And if they shoot you down, that's what you want. You got to build up that callus. And then also, just as important as building up a callus, getting used to them, and getting some dates under your belt, is realizing they're not goddesses, they're not immortals, they're not even demigods. They're just guys with different plumbing and a little bit different thinking. And once you can see them for what they are and you date enough of them, you'll be like, oh, I mean, here's something you should do. Tune into Better Bachelor to give you a juxtaposition. That guy's got 20 years on you, okay? He's out. He retired. Listen to the way he talks, and he's dated plenty of gals. I retired. A lot of the guys over at Rule 0, they're out of the game. They either got a committed girlfriend or they're married or they're just nope. There's a reason for that. I'm just trying to get you to think past your hormones and open your eyes and say, oh, wow, they are kind of actually boring, aren't they? I told her I voted libertarian and she called me a Nazi. What the hell? And that's it, man. And here's one final thing. It's okay if you don't want to date. If it's so painful, now what I think is going to happen, you're going to ask out enough gals, you'll get the confidence, you'll have some successes. But you seem more of a quiet, reserved man. There's a reason your inner body is telling you. Maybe you just don't have enough courage. Maybe you haven't approached enough women. But at the same time, like a lot of guys say, man, I hate nightclubs. I don't want to go to a nightclub. That's your brain telling you. And I wish when I was younger, I would have heeded that. But I was supposed to go to a nightclub because that's where the girls were. Fuck, except for First Avenue. Most of the nightclubs suck. It's a waste of time. So make some forays. Make a good, honest American effort. Go ahead and ask these girls out. Do a little bit of an experiment. But if you're not happy and the dates you go on, they stand you up or they lied about their pictures and they're overweight or they change the venue on you or whatever the Pope. I mean, you haven't even dated that much, man. And soon those prostitutes are going to look really good because they show up on time and then they go. But if at any time you're like, this is a pain in the ass, you can stop. And maybe wait till you're a little bit older, wait till you get a better career or more advanced in your current one. Move out of the town you're in because fuck that bullshit. Also, I got to review. I know this is a cheat. You're 5'7", cheat, man. There's tall man shoes. Somebody wanted me to review these. Hang on. Come on, load up. Yeah, tall man shoes. Yep. So somebody wanted me to review them. And the shoes, they're like platform shoes for guys, not like Prince where it's like, or Elton John, but I guess you get a couple inches of extra height. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Do that. Wear those. Get the extra 10 inch, get the extra 3 inches to make yourself 5'10". See if that does it. Because what? Women don't wear push-up bras and heels themselves. Oh, you're lying to me. Oh, he told me he made 80 grand. He only made 50. Oh yeah, you said your bra said you were a double D, and now I see little mosquito bite A's. That happened to me once. Oh, I thought this gal had solid C's, and it was just small B's when that bra came out. I'm like, I thought to be nice circular. Like, oh, yeah, I guess we'll have sex. Okay. All right, hey, super chats. Oh, we got one here. Hang on. The Competent Man, $2. Roosh called it clown game. Yeah, you're just supposed to entertain them, and I'm not only am I too old for it. If you hit puberty, you're too old for it. Where'd the $5 go? Oh, here we go. Austin Roberts. $5. Go to sleep, Cappy. I'm in California. It's already late here. Also, please do as many videos as possible tomorrow in order to keep me going. Don't worry, you won't be let down. There's a lot to do. Did I miss any more? Oh, Fred. Oh God, Fred, I almost missed another one from you. For $5, Dave Ramsey seems to get a lot of calls from young non-leftist couples. Is it because he's an evangelical Christian? Yeah, it's probably, yeah. Maybe put Dave Ramsey dating bio. Maybe, but the town he's in, I want to keep him somewhat anonymous. Not that people would find, a 5'7" guy in this big major town. All right, we cleaned up. Did I catch up with anything? Everything. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh. Fred Freeman tells scroll up. You missed 2 more. Did I get him? I think I got him. Go to sleep. See, Fred, I've missed 2 of Fred's before, and I was like, hey. Don't worry. So we did the Good Morning Corona Chan, the missed super chats episode. Dude, that thing went almost 3 hours. We made a ton of money on top. I was answering super chats. The more super chats came in, I had to end it because I had to go somewhere. I was like, okay, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.